aviation industry.
No, don't put value chain first. First, you need to settle your industry map, is it?
Okay.
Yeah, you have to
drive
clear put it down first, yeah. Okay. And then you have to identify which of those segments that Jetstar is involved in, that means operating, and their competitors, which ones. Some overlap and some don't. Okay?
So about the partner of Jetstar, we should mention about the Qantas,
The what?
the mother company Qantas,
About what?
in like the partner, like
Partner?
like we when we finding like they have some like leasing from the mother company. Like,
Yeah, okay.
do we mention in the value chain?
No, value chain is only activities. You understand? You don't put any names of companies there. I mean, the company name shouldn't be in each of the activities, but you can identify that the activities are performed by these resources, okay? But I need to see activities, okay? Yes, then what else?
So about the pesto
Yeah, what year is this?
2020,
Okay.
we
You check the reference?
yes.
The reference in the right?
Yes.
It is 2020 Q2, is it? That date?
Actually, this we take from the report of the end of the 2020.
No, you need to look at the reference. When was the reference? Yeah. It is about who we are. Yeah, please sit down. Yeah. Sit behind here.
In the reference for this one?
No. In
For
the reference
case.
list.
For the case,
Yes, for the case, right? You have a reference list, right?
yes.
Yeah. When was that? So you got a base on that.
Yes, so it was Q2 2020.
Is it?
Yes.
So you need to
There
get
was
information as a Q2 because Q2 is already COVID.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is before COVID. COVID, everything is shut down, no?
But this is like the overall route of Jetstar. up
Yeah,
to
but there was
now.
no route in 2020 after Q2. Everything stopped.
Actually, they still operating the domestic Australia.
Domestic only? Then show domestic. Okay? As at Q2 2020, all the international is off already. Correct?
Yes. So about the pesto, like we want to find three main the subregion, right? Oceania, including Australia
Yeah, okay.
and New Zealand.
Yep.
So Asia is focused on Vietnam, Thailand, and Singapore, Malaysia,
Okay.
and Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
In the East Asia is China and
Japan.
So you have Japan and Korea, right?
actually just launched the first.
Oh, the competitors.
flight in-
It's not about Jetstar. When you're doing pesto, you're looking at the whole industry segment. When you mention here Jetstar, you're already going off track.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with any particular company. These are factors that impact every competitor in this, every company in this industry segment. It's a segment. It's only a very small part of the whole transportation industry. It's so big. Airline service is only a very small part. There's three, in fact. One is the passenger, one is the cargo, and one is the services, right? Okay. So three. Yeah? So, but these are very small segments. Okay,
Yes.
and you have to I mean, whatever factors that are here, right, must impact all the companies in these segments. Okay, it's nothing to do with only Jetstar.
Like we find that in the Jetstar in the book they said that the main the main reason they go to travel is for lesser time, like for
Who's they?
nature.
Who is they?
Jetstar say
Who is they?
like their customer. So
They are customers,
yes.
but it's nothing to do with Pesto.
Like we
You have to find out like the whole industry segment. Okay, who are the kind of customers? It's not only consumer, but it's also business, and it's also companies because of freight, and then it's other airlines to buy the services. These are all the customers. So my suggestion is you need to be clear, and you need to put down the different segments, okay, and who are the companies in here, then who are the buyers, okay, in some kind of table so you yourself are very clear, okay.
So besides PESL, we find out that environment also impact the airlines. So is it
It's not important. I mean, you're going too far already, and these are not trends.
Yes.
So no, you're providing a product. You say ecotourism, that's a product.
Okay, I got it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Remember, you have to write these in terms of trends.
Yes. I have some questions for the five roles. So, for example, if I cannot find the exact market shares of these key players, what else can I use to elaborate there? It's competitive dynamics.
Market share you cannot find? How come you cannot find? You can easily get the annual report.
Well,
You cannot find annual reports?
yeah, the report is either not in that particular area or like maybe the time is different. For example, I can find the report of Asia Pacific, but not exactly Oceania.
Why not? It's all published, right?
Maybe I will research more deeper.
There are not so many airlines,
Yeah.
so what is the issue?
Okay. I got that. One problem with the restriction. Okay, so I'm doing the 5 force for every segment and every areas. But one problem is that there are differences across regions, like for the timelines and the level of restriction. But some factors are quite similar. For example, the entry barriers or like feature subsidies.
Yep.
So can I have like an overall?
No,
5
you need
force
to separate because they are different.
separate?
Yes.
So
Conditions
I have
are
to break
different.
out everything in the
Yeah,
presentation.
three different. If you have 3 different regions and 3 different pestles and porters,
Yes. Okay, I got it.
okay, trends are different.
Yes.
In fact, I gave you the concession of using Southeast Asia because it's so difficult to go into one by one. It's not ideal, but better than if you do like everything. You see, Asia Pacific is too big.
Yes.
Okay. There are too many diversities. There's different legal things as well. Okay. On visas and entry levels and stuff like that, right? So, right. Okay. What else?
This is for another part within this.
Yeah.
So as I can find, the nature of Jetstar Group is quite complicated as they have many joint ventures
Yes.
with different countries.
Yes.
So like I want to ask like what should we notice in further analyzing its strategy issues and recommend strategy change given this complicated nature.
So your question again? What?
So the nature of the
We-
Jetstar Group is
The
quite
nature.
yes.
What does that mean?
Business structure.
Huh?
Yeah, like the business structure. For example, Jetstar Airways, they
Okay,
only
so these
have-
are all different business.
Yes.
Yeah, so each is a different business.
So we should recommend like different recommendations.
Yes,
for
because
each.
they're all different.
Okay.
One is a joint venture with businessmen.
Yes.
Okay, the other one is, and government. Another one is joint venture with I don't know what another airline, Japan Airlines, right?
Yes. A lot.
And the Jetstar Pacific is they acquired, right? The Pacific Airways, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're all different. Not acquired, I think it's a joint venture, right? Okay. So whereas the Japan one is Japan Airlines, which is a national carrier. Pacific Airways is not a national carrier; it's one of the private carriers.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're all nature is different, different business.
For Jetstar Japan, I found out that they have some example of charter.
Okay. I mean, to cut all this short because we don't have time, right?
Okay.
What you need to do for all this business is you need to show me the performance up to 2019. Okay, 2020 you can't get because everything's upside down. It's not normal. Some parts were cut off, they couldn't travel. I mean, all countries banned travel after April, I believe. You can't. I'm stuck here for 2 years from April 2020. I couldn't leave. I know. I couldn't get a single airline out of here. And likewise, Thailand didn't allow anybody to come in. We had to go through. I mean, it's impossible. You need to charter. You need to pay a lot of money, and then there was no quarantine, at least for that year until later. Then they worked out a quarantine procedure. See, because it was very bad. You forgot already. So all airlines were suffering in 2020. Even eventually the domestic also, they couldn't travel. Okay. Not everywhere, but many places.
So is it that you expect us to show you the performance of Jetstar like before
Yes.
before the beginning of
Yes.
2020 and
Yeah.
then we analyze it about the strategy part? Is it that?
Yeah, your aim is when air travel restarts.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like it's like we recommend how Jetstar prepare for the recovery.
Correct,
for
where the
takeoff, right?
restart, correct, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what you're supposed to be doing because you can't plan for this uncertainty.
Yeah, because like as I researched during 2020 the recovery is like mute recovery. It's like slow but still recovery until the end of 2020.
Even up to now, many airlines haven't even got to full capacity yet. Only recently, like for example, Thai Airways only now started operation between Ho Chi Minh City and before that it was called Smile. That is a small aircraft, right?
Yeah.
Only now they've started the Thai Airways service after so long. You know why? Because many of the airlines went bankrupt already. Also,
Yeah.
even Vietnam Airlines was bankrupt. You have to get money from the government. See what I mean? Now the private airlines were also, the Pacific was in trouble. Okay, and then now of course we know that Jetstar Pacific doesn't exist already. Okay, yeah, because it's just it's impossible. How do you continue an airline with no travel? So that's why it should be Q2 2020. Did Jetstar do enough to find ways of surviving?
Yeah.
You know, right? They didn't, of course, as you know. So what would you have done differently? So you got to look at all the other opportunities. So in this, you should be getting opportunities, such as, let me tell you, cargo, okay, vaccine. So for sure there'll be vaccines, and for sure you need to transport these vaccines, right? That's for sure, almost guaranteed. It's only a matter of when. So while waiting for that when, you guys have to like prepare for it, right? So Jetstar should have been doing that. Should be preparing for that, like outfitting their aircraft to cover cold, because vaccines have to be cold. It's obvious, right? Every vaccine needs cold, right? So is your plane capable? Not wait until the vaccine is like, oh, now only we think. Yeah, but Singapore Airlines has already gone far ahead and thought about this long ago. See, that's what makes Singapore Airlines so much, that's why they're the top airline in the world, right? The most profitable airline, because they are so smart, they do business. Okay, that's what the strategy is all about. See, so strategy is about planning for the future. You know that things are pretty bad, but what can you do now? Not you can't just sit still. For sure, you need cargo. What else do you need? Leasing. You can lease aircraft for charters. Even if you don't want to retrofit your aircraft for goods, you can say, okay, I lease to you. You want to send cargo? Okay, I lease my aircraft to you. Okay, isn't that revenue? Okay, but then you also need to be actively working on how you're going to restart. And when you restart, can you be higher than your current performance? That means you need to look at your competitors in 2019. At the end of 2019, your competitors versus Jetstar. What's the relative performance? Is Jetstar like this and your competitors like this? You need to show a comparison. Now, when restart comes, you know what? You need to be here quickly because you are here. So here's your chance in this period to find a way. When you restart, you're up here already. That's what you guys should be doing. This is easy actually, because you're not doing hardly any business, but you can still do some business. Okay. Now, what business can you do? And at the same time, so there's two things. One, do some business right now, and the second thing is you need to get the preparation for restart and make sure you're ahead when you start.
So we should recommend on how it like survive and its preparation for its like.
Correct. There'll be two things you got to do.
Yeah.
Because for airline, that was straightforward. All airlines don't know what to do. They're all crazy. Except Singapore Airlines, Qatar. These are all smart airlines. Qatar Airways was still ordering aircraft. Like people say, you're mad. But they're very smart. After when it started to open and all the airlines started ordering aircraft, too late. Qatar Airways got all orders already. First come, first serve. They were the first to be given the aircraft. Because the aircraft manufacturer don't have capacity. See? This is called strategy. This is called, visionary thinking. The leadership at Qatar is so smart. They are very future oriented. That's called strategy. Singapore Airlines is the same. That's why these are the successful airlines. Qantas cannot. So Jetstar is almost autonomous in the way they're operating, correct? They don't depend on the parent Qantas. They are more or less independent, right? Yeah. This is your chance. Forget about the Qantas and you work out your way. That's why I call it, this is the pivoting time, you see. This is the chance for you to do well. But Jetstar didn't. They were complacent and waiting, and they're not doing that well now, frankly. There are not many routes now, less than it was before. Not profitable also, right? Yeah. So they got to change their business model. I mean, at that time, they should be changing the business model already. Okay? Got it? That is the way it is. Yeah. So you guys got about 10 minutes. Yeah, quickly. 10 minutes. I got to leave at 3:45. I mean, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to duplicate the projection. You need to connect first and then, yeah. Okay. You put time, I think it's Q2, not Q1. It's Q3. I think it's the end of Q2. Why do you say Q3? Did you check the reference? Is it Q2 or Q3? They say it's Q2. Should be consistent. Huh? Yeah, I mean you deal with it, right? It should be either it's Q2 or probably Q2, yeah? Because if you check the reference, it is that time, yeah? Okay, then go on. I would be going straight zoom into Asia Pacific. I don't care about global. Okay, you should go straight to Asia Pacific because that's our focus. Yeah. Can you change that to Asia Pacific? Because Asia Pacific was more stringent, you see. Starting with China, Singapore, they all stopped everything. China was worse. They stopped everything, in and out. Okay, even domestic was affected. So this value chain is as at end of 2019, right? Because 2020 hardly any activity, correct?
Yes.
So you need to be clear. So this is a special time, not normal. Okay. They said that there was domestic travel in Australia. Is it?
So actually, as we researched that they don't conduct any like domestic transportation, but after in Q3 they did some some airways to in domestic, but not in international.
Yeah, international Australia was also very strict.
Yeah.
They didn't allow any travel. Domestic, I can't remember, so you need to check.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys said there were domestic travel, but Q2, I don't think so.
So there's a piece of information said that
Where?
the National Cabinet agreed to a 3-step plan to gradually relax the public health measure on May of 2020.
Yeah, but when did they actually start it? I think it's only Q3, right? So as at Q2, there was no domestic as well. So what was so this should be 2019 when it's normal operations, okay? You cannot use all those intermediary or interim because it's so uncertain at that time. I remember people, even governments were saying, oh, we can open by September. September came and nothing happened. They gave a schedule, like, oh, we'll open to here. But it never happened. Things got worse.
It's just a plan.
Huh?
It's just a plan.
It was a plan, but it's subject to how COVID was going, and it was getting worse, isn't it? Here, you remember it was on, off, but there was no travel. Okay? So, you should be basing it on the last known normal operations, this value chain. Okay? And you should put a date there. Where's the last known operations? I think it's January 2020. Still okay. Right? After that, then it's begun uncertainty already. Don't know how. I think the pandemic was declared a pandemic in March, right? When it became a pandemic, then everything had to shut down. In this time. Okay. I don't know why you put warehousing, but it's just transportation, I think. Yeah, I understand you have, but that's the logistics part, right? Okay, so, okay, fair enough. Then you have air transport, but no, you should put the others. Where's the rest? There are substitutes, you see. That is why you need to put the full map. See? Schedule, passenger, okay, fine. You have this is fine. Yeah, but where is the others? Okay. You have to put all the transportation. You cannot just put this one. There were alternatives, right? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the plan, but we don't know, right? So at that time, it was just a plan. The thing is, you guys need to work out like how, whatever the plan is, whether it's Q3 or Q4 or 2021, you have to get ready for that. And in the meantime, you got to get doing some business, right? Okay. Okay. This is okay. This is over 3 countries.
Yes.
Okay, you need to justify why these 3. They are using regions. It's not about Jetstar. It's about Jetstar doesn't operate only in this country, right? More than that. And Singapore is not where you get. For Singapore, it's mostly transit. It's a transit point, correct?
Yes.
Because Jetstar operates elsewhere, then it transits to Australia. That was the way they operated. Okay, but other airlines are doing the same. In fact, other airlines are direct flights. Air Asia is direct. No need to stop over. See what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but everything after 2020 is just a forecast only, and in reality, didn't happen this way. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's just a forecast because you're only in Q2 2020, and basically there's a lot of uncertainties. My suggestion here is worst case scenario, best case scenario. Okay.
Yes.
Because at that time a lot of uncertainty, so there's a lot of what if simulation. What if it was getting worse? What if it got better? So then you have some options. That will be good for your discussion as well,
Yes.
because you can debate, right? You need to be specific who the competitors are. So this is why I see you put Singapore, Japan, Australia, you're not covering enough. Okay, Air Asia is based in Malaysia, and that is the biggest budget airline by far, actually. Okay, you get my point. So it's not about Jetstar suppliers; it's about the industry suppliers. You're going back to your old days of the bad habits of using this for a company. You cannot use it for a company. This is about the whole industry and how each competitor is dealing with it. Okay. Yeah, this is about how attractive the industry is. The purpose of doing Porter's analysis is to figure out whether it's an attractive industry. So that is the first key question, right? Should the current competitors or the players in the company in this industry or industry category, should they exit? You know, low cost carriers, right, are high risk. They don't make much money. Quite often they are losing money. See, the parent company kind of subsidizes some of that. Okay, so you have to figure out that as at end of 2019 or early 2020, the first quarter, right? What is the situation in terms of, as I just told them, right? How is Jetstar's performance versus the competitors' performances? Which competitors? Who is doing better? Why? This one is to show what is the industry attractiveness. Okay, and this industry is, are you only low cost? Because transportation, you put air transportation is everyone. Passengers don't really care as long as they got various priorities. Passengers doesn't mean tourists only, you know. It's not just leisure travel. There's also business travel. See, so you didn't cover those. Okay, because if you look at the customers, buyers, and you haven't covered other areas. This is just air travel. You haven't talked about freight travel. Where's the freight travel? I mean, cargo transport. And then the services, where are they? Airlines provide service, what? Okay. You have to put all, whether Jetstar is there or not, you have to put it because there are opportunities. Okay. Then there's the leasing. You also didn't put leasing. There's a lot of airlines, the strategy is buy, and then lease. They can buy used aircraft and they can also buy new aircraft. Typically, they buy the used aircraft so that they can lease the used aircraft. The new aircraft they keep for themselves. Typically, that's the way it is. Okay, so leasing is also another business. Okay, but you don't have it. Yeah, so a lot missing. There are substitutes for freight, but you don't have it here. So freight is different. And you also forgot, during this time, Q2 at least, we substituted travel with video conferencing. It's also missing from here. This is a substitute. You understand?
Yes.
So a lot of people fear to travel. It's not about whether the government say yes or no. People themselves have fear. So I don't want to travel, I just go on video conference. And it's expensive. If you want to do like a charter flight, right, you got to apply, very expensive. How many people can afford this? Very few. There's so many regulations and quarantines and so on. By the time you actually, I was trying to do that and like the quarantine alone takes 2 weeks. And I don't even know whether I will get COVID because I'm in the same hotel as all the people with COVID, I think. So we're also scared. We don't want to travel. Okay? And we're all waiting for vaccines. Right? Most of us are waiting for vaccines. Normal people, huh? So we didn't wait for the government to say we're just waiting. Yeah. Right. Get it? So before COVID, who were the biggest travelers? Chinese. Isn't it? During COVID, zero. So yeah, biggest revenue earner gone. You have to understand all these dynamics are not here. You're talking about global. No, we're talking about Asia, right? Very specific. The one that all countries suffered because the Chinese couldn't travel. Got it? Give you more perspectives, dimensions. Yeah. Okay, I have to go already. I'm very late. Okay, clear?
Can I confirm one last?
Yeah. Okay.
So you mentioned the services. I wonder what services are included. Are they
Catering services.
Yes, good. What about charter?
The
and
biggest or the most successful is SATS, Singapore Airlines Terminal Services, I think it's called. Not only for food, but also the items that go on board the aircraft.
merchandise.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And the things that are consumed, like the toiletries and stuff like that in the toilets. Yeah. So Lufthansa is one of them. Singapore Airlines. Okay, they provide these services to other airlines.
So what about leasing and charter? Are they included?
Yeah, they are. No, that's a leasing business. That is a different thing. That is about buying aircraft and leasing it out.
Yes. So
Okay.
for 5 years, I should analyze
Different
every
business. Yeah, there are different
possible-
businesses. Yes, there are different segments of this of this transportation. Sorry. So in the transportation business, there's these other segments, right? Each segment, you did Porters before in your assessment one, but by segment, right? I told you, right? So that is why you need your industry map to be very clear. These are all revenue for different airlines. The airline cannot rely only on passenger travel. If those are relying only on that, very high chance of failure. That's why the budget carriers are very high risk, because they don't have many other options. AirAsia is an exception because they buy a lot of aircraft and they lease. They buy used aircraft. They buy from all those struggling airlines that are going bankrupt, sell the airline for $1. Actually, AirAsia started like that. You know how AirAsia started? It's a $1 company only. That's how they got the name, and they bought the first two aircraft is only for $1. Aircraft, because they bought it from some bankrupt airline, they buy for $1. So they get all this, they refurbish it, they do their maintenance, and then they lease it. They have cash, they can do it. That's why I'm saying Jetstar, they never think about this. They're waiting and hoping for the code. I think you cannot. You have to be more proactive than this. There are lower risk business, and you have to identify those lower risk business. Okay? All right, so that's it. Easy.
Thank you.
Yeah.